So finding time and motivation to work out can be hard, even harder after having those babies. And it's easy to get discouraged with negative thoughts, feelings like my body is broken or I feel too old to work out. But my next guest says rather than feed those negative thoughts, try focusing on taking good care of yourself after giving birth. Lindsay Newman is a postpartum exercise specialist and a health practitioner. She's the creator of what she calls the Fourth Trimester Fitness Academy. It's great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
So I've had 4 kids. I haven't heard of the fourth trimester.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate most of us haven't. We know as moms the first, second, third, they're all really iconic. But what we forget is the process isn't over when baby is born, right? Your body is still going through this extensive recovery phase, what I call the fourth trimester. And your blood volume's got to go back to normal, uterus size, your whole body is changing and shifting, hormones. It's a really unsupported time for most moms.
When a lot's happening.
When so much is happening, and they've got this mental and emotional burden of now taking care of their body and a new human life, right?
Now, of course, there's kind of that safety and health precaution of wait to exercise, but you encourage women as soon as they're given the green light to start moving those bodies.
Yes. In fact, I think that the idea of just waiting 6 weeks to start being proactive in your recovery is maybe a little bit of a misunderstanding. And it's not necessarily that we should just go back to doing everything we were doing before we had babies, but we need to have a little more strategy here because we're not just trying to get back to exercise, we're trying to rehab a body that's been really changed posturally. All these muscles have had to move and adapt and make way for baby. Your rib cage is widened, your pelvis is different. There's a lot of moving parts that really get looked over. So we have to initiate rehab pretty early on.
So it's not as simple as I stated it, get moving. You're talking about actually rehabilitating the body.
Active rehab. And what I do is kind of a combination of rehab and fitness because in order to get to where we need to go, we have to have fitness, progressive overload that constantly challenges our muscles, challenges where they are to get them to adapt somewhere different.
And quickly, Lindsay, the benefits to doing this as you've described are what?
Yes, better breathing is the biggest one that comes to mind first. And what you don't realize as a mom is that your breathing system is your first foundation piece of strength. And when that's taken away from you, you start to notice a lot of other shifts in your body, things like tense neck and shoulders, or maybe a constantly stressed out nervous system.
Taken away by that lack of muscle support?
Muscle support and mobility, right? When a baby's inside of your rib cage, you're kind of held open and wide, but your ribs are meant to be really mobile. Your core is part of your breathing system, and it's obviously pretty compromised. So there's a lot.
I think I've had 4 babies, but none of this sounds familiar.
Well, we only know what we know, right?
True. You're focusing today on some lies that we tell ourselves after giving birth, and you've got some suggestions to turn those around. First, lie number 1, nothing I try will work.
Yeah, this is something that I felt personally, and I hear from so many of my clients, because when you're in pain or struggling with back pain, or you're peeing your pants when you go to your fitness class, or you have ab separation, maybe even some hormones, you're trying to lose weight, you'll see moms try so many different things. And most of my clients have graduated from physical therapy. And that's a big thing that they tried. And they've tried other fitness programs or other things to see these changes. And you start to feel burned out because you're only getting a piece of the puzzle from each of these supportive measures.
So the message is keep working at it. Find a system
Keep
or
working at it, but let's work smarter and not harder, right? Have some strategy.
Women feel, and I know you hear this all the time, my body's broken. My body went through a lot in those 9+ months, and it's just not doing for me what I want it to do.
I said this to my husband on my bedroom floor in tears after I had my baby. I was throwing out my back every single month, multiple times, and I thought I was doing all of the right things. I was working out, I was trying to eat healthy, and I was pushing really hard, so I thought I should be seeing change. But sometimes we forget that this transition is a time for healing. And it's not really a time to add more stress, to compound stress on stress on stress, but to give yourself generously back what you need to recover and to feel really good.
What would you say, Lindsay, to the woman who believes she'll never feel as good as she did before kids?
I feel better than I've ever felt before kids, and I have 4 of them. And I think it's a lie that we tell ourselves that's frustrating because it does kind of keep us stuck. It keeps us where we are at. But it would be like telling your kid that you'll never be a professional soccer player, no matter how hard you try, right? And we would never say that as a mom. And the truth is, the more that we invest into a goal and that we find the right steps and we fail fast and we keep going and learning, the quicker we get to the end result.
The next lie, I can't lose weight after babies.
This one, have you heard this?
Yeah.
I've heard this so many times from so many people, and it may be true. Losing weight is challenging after babies for a lot of moms because of the metabolic shifts, the hormones that are changing, everything that's going on inside of your body.
Yeah.
And I think that the first thing I would say is that losing weight, again, after you've had baby in that first year, maybe shouldn't be the goal. It should be a goal to give generously to yourself, because most women would hurdle this barrier so much faster if they were constantly just hitting the basics and giving themselves the love and support they needed through whole foods, trying to get enough sleep as best as they can, right? Getting gentle restorative movement like walking, taking some supplements, just the basics.
30 seconds left. What about this last one? We'll end here. I don't have the genetics. Genetics certainly do play a role, so where's the lie?
Yeah, genetics load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. And that's something that I learned as a functional health practitioner is really important to remember, that we do have responsibility and we can change our genetic outcome based on the lifestyle that we lead.
To a point.
To a point.
Yeah, to a point.
Absolutely.
Lindsay, thank you so much. Where can we find more from you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @Lindsay Newman, and I coach clients one-on-one, but I also love to give free resources and help clients everywhere that I can.
Thanks for your passion and thanks for your suggestions here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.